I was feeling good this morning because I was set to do a 2-hour workshop on communication and I wasn't feeling nervous. Before I left, I was sitting with how wonderful it is to have reached a point where I'm recognizing the difference between feeling a need to perform and being able to just show up and be me. And I was thinking about, what if my job is really just to have fun, to show up and be me, and that I don't need to impress anybody. I don't need to be somebody different than I am. And I could just be who I am and it would be enough. I was feeling good about showing up for this workshop and interacting with whoever showed up. Toastmasters was advertising it and I had no idea who would show up, whether it might be 1 or 2 people or 20. So I had things prepared in a way that I felt like I could work with whatever the situation was. And then I got there and I waited and nobody came. And I wasn't prepared for that. That thought had never crossed my mind, which seems pretty strange now as I look back on it, that never occurred to me, but it didn't. My first reaction was that I thought it was funny. And I went ahead and did things at the library for a while, uploaded a bunch of my videos onto YouTube, and then I went to have lunch with my friend, which was what we had arranged before. And as soon as I got there, she was talking, and then at some point into the conversation a while, I made some comment, and then she remembered and asked me about how it went, and I said, nobody came. She said, "Oh." And she held that space for me, and a little later I knew that I needed to work with some more of the emotional stuff that was there, and she was ready to help me. So we sat together and I worked on uncovering what was underneath my first thoughts. The thought that it was funny, and then the next thought was, well, who am I to say what somebody else's priorities need to be today? You know, other people, there may have been people who were interested, but for one reason or another they didn't end up coming. And I know for sure one person was, because she called me and asked me questions about it, and then this morning she called and said, as much as I would like to come, I'm not going to make it. And that was wonderful of her to let me know. But I worked with the feelings that were underneath, because I knew that the other things were a defense, and I knew that they were in the way of me figuring out what it was that I felt. So as I sat with it, I was able to recognize that I felt sad. I was really looking forward to connecting with whoever it was that came, because what I want most in my life is connection. And then nobody came. As I worked with what was there and what was coming up for me, all these different thoughts, and had some conversation with my friend, what I uncovered is another layer of me not acknowledging what my needs are. And I thought about a different presentation that I went to a few weeks ago. The person who is leading the Happiness Is class that I was taking did a presentation at the library, and she had a couple of friends with her, and then there was only me and one other person who showed up. And I thought about how she had friends with her, and how I told quite a few different people that I was doing these presentations, but I didn't actually invite anyone to come and be there with me and participate, or be there and support me. And that was something I could have done. So I see more how I haven't acknowledged what I need or want. And I see how so much in our culture we are asked to ignore our own needs and help other people, fill other people's needs. So I know it's not just me that is in this position, and yet recognizing it on the level that I did today is opening new possibilities for me. What if I felt okay about asking not just for what I need, but for what I want? No, my granddaughter Vanessa is 4 years old, and she doesn't have any problem asking for what she needs. She's quick to do it, and when she gets a no, she comes back with something else. The same question or a slightly different one. Can I take these home with me? No, I want you to leave them here at Grandma's house. Please, please, can I take these home with me? No, I want them to stay here. I'm scared they might get lost at your house. Well, could I just borrow them? She ends up getting what she wants, or some version of what she wants, almost all the time, because she is so good at continuing to ask. So I look at that innocence in her asking for what she wants, and then I look at me where I struggle to ask for what I want, and I realize that I want to change the way it's been. And even if I'm not sure how to do that, I'm willing to try and see what I can come up with. I'm willing to make a choice and work with it and see what happens.